What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chief. And I'm your host, Dale, along with my partner Lonnie. How you doing today, brother?
Good, good.
Man, we definitely got a lot to talk about. We had some things go down today. Our guy Frank ain't coming back. He's going to Seattle, but we did bring back a familiar foe, a part of that first championship run, Mike Pennell. So we definitely going to talk about today. Talk about that today. Also, we're going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, of course, defeating the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday, 31-17. We're going to dive into that, break down that game, and then also we're going to talk about this recharged offense that actually looked good and had a decent first half as well. And then, of course, defensively, still rocking on, keeping our opponents under 20 points. And then we lost Nick Bolton as well too. So we need some guys to step up. So we're going to definitely dive into that. And of course, we're going to talk about next week game. Another game against the Denver Broncos, another divisional matchup that's going to close out our three divisional game streak as of now. So we're going to dive into that talk and talk about our predictions as well. But we'll dive into that after this short break.
Get ready, Chiefs Kingdom, to unleash your passion and excitement for all Chiefs content. With the up-and-coming sports media company giving you all of the Chiefs coverage. We are raising the decibels and embracing the community of Chiefs Kingdom. Elevate your fandom and join our team who loves your team. Red Kingdom Media.
All right, welcome back to the episode. Now, Lonnie, like I said, the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Los Angeles Chargers this Sunday, 31-17. The Chiefs are now 27-3 against the AFC West since 2015. So, what are your thoughts about that game? And do you think the Chiefs pretty much wrapped up the division with this win?
Yeah. So I love the game. I loved how we played offensively. I feel like it put a silence to those critics of this that we had the offensive woes, which we did have this year. We weren't playing at our best level. We put up our highest scoring point total this year, being 31 points against a division opponent, which really gets me excited. So I really love the outcome of the game. I like what I've seen from the Chiefs. On both sides of the ball. We had an unfortunate injury. We happened to lose our middle linebacker, but fortunately, we had Drew step up through these last couple games and really help us in Minnesota get a win and really just showed that he can be that good, a really solid middle linebacker there. So I really like that. I really like everything that I've seen from the Chiefs so far, especially with the division opponent. And I feel like we can get it wrapped up. I don't want to say it's wrapped up for sure because we're about to play the Broncos back to back. And I don't like how this game is situated. Being that this game is situated like back to back, it's like they had a good look at us. The game was close the first time. I know it was a Thursday night short turnaround, but I think it's kind of hard to beat an opponent in the NFL anytime when you play them two times in a row, especially when it's really really close. Being that they had a good beat on you the first time, so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. That game is going to be on the road. It wasn't a beat up. We didn't beat them up like we did the Chargers, and we kind of should have. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I don't want to say we have it wrapped up yet, but I guess we'll see here coming up this Sunday.
I definitely feel you on that just because, like they say all the time, that is something that is known, especially when it comes to the playoffs as well, too, where that team who lost probably has that advantage because they already fired up and then they have that, lock on you of, studying you already. So I definitely understand that, but I'm honestly going to I'm actually going to say that I do think that the Chiefs have this wrapped up and we can possibly have this wrapped up by this game, coming up Sunday just because what we did against the Chargers, I think defensively we showed that we are able to get stops, we're able to adjust, and playing the offense like that that's led by Justin Herbert, it has some talent as well with of course Keenan Allen being one of the best route runners in the league. Honestly, can be debated as a top 5 receiver in the league, but we know injuries held him back some years. And then they also had some young guys like Josh Palmer, but also have a great tight end in Everett. And then of course they got Eckler back as well, who's their best option coming out the backfield, definitely in that run game and screen game as well. But we were able to dial in and actually stop that. So I'm satisfied from what I saw defensively. And in the first half, the offense really played. They played very hard. They definitely didn't have any mistakes, but that interception, to be honest. But it was pretty much. not a flawed game at all. They actually were able to get momentum. They were able to capitalize when the Chargers responded, and that's what I wanted to see from a team that is actually trying to wrap up this division early if they can, and also hold on to that top spot in the AFC conference as well too. So it was definitely something that I enjoyed. The first quarter was definitely blazing and was red hot from both sides offensively and defensively. We was able to come together, come back in the second half and get the stops that we needed. We were able to get two turnovers, of course, by one by what was it? Excuse me, Justin Reed, and then
Another one by
it
Snead.
was another one by Snead as well too. Not Justin Reed, it was Snead, and then it was
Uh,
somebody else. Forgot. Uh,
Mike Edwards got close to
Mike,
one.
he got close to one, but
It
he
wasn't him.
did throw to no Brian Cook. It was that late
Brian Cook.
interception.
Yeah, we got a late interception over
That
on him.
late
Yep.
interception.
He went
So
through the whole safety room, but yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So it was one of those plays at the end of the game that closed it out for us. But they were able to just, really play a good game on both sides of the ball. That's something that we've been waiting for all year. And I'm satisfied and I think it possibly can happen. I understand we don't want to jinx it. I do understand that. And with this game coming around being, we playing them a week after we play the Chargers, so we didn't really get like that break that we usually see, probably a couple games or so before we actually play them again. So they have the chance to actually come back and be able to respond and try to, get some fire into that team as well too, because we know right now that they're going on a fire sale, and then they already said some players they're looking at, potential trades with as well too, having calls for that. However, they did get a win last week. So they probably will try to feed off of that. You do have a coach who is definitely someone who wants to win. He definitely is a prideful person, and he prides on having a good team and trying to have build a great franchise. And then you also have a veteran quarterback as well too, who was also playoff caliber. So I definitely understand that this game could be somewhat of a trap game, but I do think the Chiefs will be able to hold on later on and be able to wrap up this division. But overall, Chargers games was great. I think we got what we wanted out of that. We were able to put up more than 27 points, 28 points, so that was a plus. We scored 31. So offensively, it seems like we're starting to get it together. I would like to see a score at least in each quarter. Let's not have a quarter to where we're playing, down to our opponent and not playing to the best of our ability. However, in those situations, we were able not to turn over the ball, probably punt it, but we were able to respond defensively, making it an overall satisfying game on my end.
Yeah, yeah, I loved it. But like you said, it's a potential trap game. I feel like all division games are like potential trap games. When you think about it, just the opponent knowing each other very, very well, they're very familiar foes with each other. These are people that we see these teams twice a year, so they're very, very familiar with each other. These are usually not high scoring games whatsoever.
Yep.
Especially being with how they like to play Mahomes, keep the ball away. That's usually what it is, and play them on defense, beat them ups, or try and that's usually just how it goes. Get to him on
Yep.
defense, and then we run the ball, keep it away from him, keep it out of his hands.
Yep.
So the games are usually not high scoring. They're usually not in the Chiefs' favor. So to see this one kind of go the Chiefs' way was definitely a good sign. But that one against the Broncos kind of scared me. Even though it was on a Thursday night, it's just still like that was a super
Short week, all
game.
that good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
Yeah.
like we
So
just gotta. I just want to make sure, like you gotta show me that you can beat them up, because the Broncos are confident. If I'm the Broncos after that game, I'm confident. I don't care if we're having a losing season or not, but I'm confident because we showed
let
a
me
little bit of
spoil it
promise.
for you.
What?
Yep. Let me spoil it for you. I know I'm not going anywhere. Let me spoil it for you.
Yeah, no, yeah. Let me
That's how
ruin it
those
for you
division
though.
games are.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true. Yeah, let me just ruin your party though. Yeah, let me stop. Let me piss on
Yep.
your parade.
Yeah, exactly. Let me lower your seed a little bit. Maybe
Yeah,
not have that home field advantage, right? But yeah, I mean that's true. But this is their chance. We'll definitely dive into that later on in the show and where we get more in detail about it because not gonna lie, I think we can possibly try to get that game over with early. But we're definitely going to stick to the offense right now because it's something that we've been waiting for all season. I mean, we had our great games. We had a good game against the Bears, right? So we were waiting for that next game to where Patrick Mahomes threw over 350 yards, ended up throwing for 400 yards. So, Lonnie, like I said, the Chiefs got back on track against the Chargers with Mahomes throwing for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. He did have one interception. I will put that out there. However, Travis Kelce had a day on National Tight Ends Day, National Travis Day, something our partner, founder of Red Kingdom Media, Clinton actually had on his breakdown. That was his title. So he had 12 receptions, 79 yards, and a touchdown. So what difference do you see in this Chiefs offense compared to prior games? And do you feel like this can be consistent moving forward?
Yeah, so that was the one difference that we seen, and I think in a lot of games that we had this year, Travis did Travis,
Yeah.
and I feel like that was the biggest difference. And Mahomes showed up and played like Mahomes. And it's I love to say that it's a love-hate thing when I say that, because this has become the expectation and the norm for Mahomes. And when he does not get to that 400 passing yard mark, anything else after that is a failure. Unfortunately, living in Kansas City over the past years, we've been spoiled to have such great quarterback play and think this is a standard of football, and this is just not. This is kind of like he's that anomaly that kind of just does this. Him and a couple more guys in the NFL, but it, it it's like I said, it feels like we're back to normal. And I do think it can be consistent moving forward. That's just the Chiefs playing dominant football. That's when we know they're dominant, and when they're at their best, and when we're seeing numbers like this. Just period, point blank, from our quarterback. When you go for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, he's not having those same problems overthrowing guys. Like, he's not having those mechanical issues. This is a game where he's on, obviously. So I don't know what mix or what rhyme or reason, whatever got them going here. But they need to stick with it. I think they will stick with it. I think, like I said, I think they'll keep mixing it up, keep mixing guys in at that wide receiver position, doing a whole bunch of different things there. And Nagy, he found something against the Chargers. I don't know what they found against the Chargers, or what they seen on Staley, that they like, but they found something, and Travis found a real sweet spot with the Chargers as well, just beating them up these last couple of times. He hasn't had the best games in Arrowhead, but he does have them on the road, does have good ones on the road. So it'll be interesting to see how they do them down the stretch, down when we get down to the Chargers, that last game of the year, if it means anything. But I definitely think it can be consistent, because these are numbers that we see from these guys all the time.
Yeah. 400 yards. This is the first 400-yard game that he actually had this season. Why are we so surprised? Like, this is supposed to be something that's normal. That's a new expectation that he set for quarterbacks in the league. And honestly, when he has games lower than that, like we said, that's some people's career games in their career in the NFL. But it was definitely fun to see him back out there. It seems like they were having a lot of fun offensively. They definitely was out there trying to do some new things and actually get everyone involved. And that's something that you actually want to see in an offense that was actually, very mediocre the beginning part of the season. Nagy was someone, and also Reed got to take blame, because he always take blame when he says everything is not going right, and it's always debate about if he's actually the ones making those play calls. I think he is the one making those play calls. However, I think, Nagy and company as well had moments to where they were able to, put their 2 cents in there. But at the end of the day, what Andy Reid likes to do, he likes to take responsibility for that, right? And that's someone who is just who you want to be. That's why a lot of people want to play lights out for him when they get out on the field. He has that personality. And I think they were able to just, come back together, go back into the room, really think about what they've been doing all the years, be like, hey, we got to get back to this. This is something that worked with us. We didn't have that many carries this game. I think Pacheco was still able to get 13 carries, but you did see an extension of the screen game. We saw McKinnon actually, take a 46-yard to the crib, but it was called back because of pushing it back by Joe Tooney. So they were able to dial it up and take advantage of what the Chargers like to do defensively, because we were able to keep Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa at bay. They were able to be dominant, and we took advantage of that. When we like to go after your best weapon on defense, when you feel like that's someone that can wreck the game for you. Because if we go there that way, that means everything's opening up over that way. But just because you feel they have it on their own right there. You feel like they can lock it down, but we're going to use that to your advantage. We're going to scheme some stuff over there. We're going to do some quick screens and get out there. We're going to get him outside of the play because we already going your way, but you're trying to go towards the quarterback. So I think they were able to come together. You saw guys like MVS step up. Travis Kelce had a big day. You had Rashee Rice, of course, who was able to still produce like he has been doing all season. And then we saw Tony and McCole Hardman get involved late in the later parts of the game as well. But I think all in all, Travis Kelce was definitely the one who separated himself in that entire game. He was able to find those open holes in the zone and really expose that and able to take advantage of that as well too. And at times you saw him doubled up as well, but he was opened up for those other wide receivers to actually make plays as well. And even when he was doubled up, or if they had a guy on him, he was still able to get open, make a play, get downfield, and extend a drive. So he definitely did his thing. He definitely balled out and really played hard. So at the same time, I'm definitely happy from what we saw from the offense. This is something that we was waiting for all year. We was waiting for it, and I think this is something that can be consistent going forward. What was you
Yeah,
about to say?
and I just wanted to say this is something that gets lost in all of this, right? We give hats off to all those skill players and everything going on there, but
That
the
offensive
time that
line,
Mahomes had to throw is uncanny
amazing.
around Kansas City. Like, dude, we got to get hats off to those guys. It's a lot of we harp on a lot of the illegal formation and a lot of the stuff that we get caught up in and all the penalties. And the holding calls out there on Donovan Smith. We know he led the league in those last year and all of that stuff. But when he has that much time and they're talking about Romo is talking about that he has some of the most time in the NFL. That becomes a little bit okay. Now we start to put the onus on you, Mahomes. You got to figure some things out, like you said. Get around there, like you said, get around the rush and get guys get open quick. You have to work better now. You put that onus on the quarterback and those skill players more. And they showed up this game. And I like that, but I'm really just wanted to just spotlight that offensive line there because without them, I don't even think we would be talking about him throwing for 400 or Travis going for 179, or me Cole getting that ball on third down. Like I don't think we get a lot of the stuff
Yeah.
that we get off, just because Khalil Mack, we just seen him wreck a game, 6 sacks. So we have to give those guys hats off for real. And Joey Bosa, he wanted to get at Jawan Taylor for that playoff game. So like it's definitely some extra stuff there. And they got that job done. They stepped up. So like I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, shout out to them. A team that a lot of people were trying to call out the offensive line. Definitely trying to expose their weaknesses and feel like and just call out certain things and be petty about certain calls. But this is something that we have seen all season. This, like you said, Romo said it best. We have the most time in the league where Mahomes has time in the pocket. So you got to credit them for just being able to keep Mahomes up and be able to dial in and be able to have those moments to where he's able to get out the pocket, still make a play, still not be touched, and just have time in the pocket as well. So, this is a group that, they don't get a lot of love, but we know that's the most important position. That's why behind quarterbacks, they get the most bang because they're that important to our offense if you wanted it to thrive. So shout out to the offense, definitely Donovan Smith, Joe Tooney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Jawan Taylor, keep it up, keep balling out. You're definitely showing why you're one of the best lines in Chiefs history behind that great line that we saw in '03.
Yeah.
I might
Because
go out on a limb in a little bit,
I
but
think that's what I was gonna say because they like to run block. This
uh
is the scary part about them. They like to run block. If you see Jawan Taylor and Donovan, they get out and move. Like
yeah.
these are not guys that are scared to move in space, dude.
They like to pull. They like to get
Yeah,
that advantage over the
like
defense. They like to get to the second level and bully a guy. And that's from our interior line. The interior line was already dogs, but having tackles who's dogs as well, not only in pass protection, but in the run game as well too. That's phenomenal. That's where you get that credit of being okay. You can be considered like a top 2 line in Chiefs history because you know what that '03 line did, and we saw what Priest Holmes did behind that offensive line. So I'm not going to take anything away from them, but they're playing great. They're not going to get the credit that they deserve, but however, eventually, when the stats come out, the PFF grades come out, it shows right there like, hey, Mahomes like got the best time in the pocket. So credit to the offensive line. You definitely have been playing great. I dialed in, avoided all of those speculations of penalties and people try to put things on you, have an eye on you. You capitalize, you got it together, limit that, and now we're moving forward. And it looks like the offense is coming together now. So that's definitely great to see. So just last part of the offense because we got to bring this up, and we just alluded to this earlier when we was talking about it. McCole Hardman, man, big return for 46 yards and set up an Isaiah Pacheco touchdown, and then also a big third down catch to extend the drive, and it was a 3rd and 6. We possibly would have had to kick a field goal, then they would have had the chance to go downfield and score a touchdown. So, Lonnie, what does this comeback mean for McCole Hardman and the Kansas City Chiefs? And we'll keep it short. We just give a brief overview.
Well, yeah, I'm just happy for him. Period. Like I said, it almost brought a tear to my eye. Like I said, he went through a lot of rough last year. He was supposed to be the guy that last year. It wasn't the guy. Kadarius came in, kind of just like overtook McCole. We just kind of like forgot about him, but he showed who he was. So like, it's all hats off to McCole. I respect it. I love it. And I can't wait to see more of it because I know he knows that Tyreek. He's been here with Tyreek, so he knows that route tree. He knows what he used to do on third down. He's watched him. He's the only one that has kind of lived in those shoes for at least 2 years. So I feel like he's that one that can bring that extra oomph to the offense. I don't think everyone else sees it yet, but it's fine because I love this. We love the sleepers.
Okay. Yeah. I'm ecstatic. I'm happy for what he has overcame. He talked about his injury when he got hurt in the middle of the season last year, and he was in the hospital. And he talked about his legs not being able to be functional for 4 days, and then he ends up having a big catch in the AFC Championship game to help extend the drive and get hurt. For him to be able to go through that, not be signed back by the Kansas City Chiefs in the offseason, go to the New York Jets and sign a 1 year deal for 4 million, has to prove himself to try to earn a bigger contract than that, just because he wasn't able to do it in Kansas City, but he had to find somewhere to go, right? And he did that. End up getting beat out, not essentially beat out. I'm not going to say that. He just wasn't able to find his rhythm in that offense. Only had about 28 snacks. Only had one catch for 6 yards. So for him to be able to come back home to where it all started, to where he had his big moments in the punt return game, we saw it in pretty much every game that we needed a boost to win, right, to get to the Super Bowl, and he was able to do that. And then for you to actually come in and try to learn his offense, your reps was limited as well too, and to have a big third down, where he had a catch, get the first down instead of drive, and then we end up scoring with Isaiah Pacheco. I think that's important for him, and it builds that confidence back up. Like, okay, this is where it all started. I can reset of what I had, what I was supposed to do last year. I can do it now. New number, new me. It's refreshing. In Kansas City Chiefs, Brett Veach, I said this before already too. I think, he's willing to go back and get his guys, give him a second chance. No offense to the guys with Dorsey, but at the same time, this is someone that he picked up in 2019. Definitely after the season, we lost in the AFC Championship game. He was able to come in, play punt return. We thought Tyreek was going to be gone. Tyreek came back, didn't get in trouble. He had a phenomenal season. He had to really move down and be like, okay, I got to do this role and just hone in on that, be able to develop that. Was solid for 3 years straight. 3 years straight. End up getting injured in that contract year. It's just big for him. So definitely glad, definitely proud for what he has done. I think he definitely can do more as the season go on, and I think he definitely will be implemented into this offense moving forward as well too. And they're gonna find rest for him. So don't forget, follow and subscribe to Red Kingdom Media on YouTube, and also like, comment, and share as well. And make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify. You see it all down there on the banner. So tap in with your boys because we got all the content for you. Now, Lonnie, hey, that defense top five, baby. They still looking good. We was talking about how they was looking, not as well. They had them couple games where, those mediocre quarterbacks made something out of it. But we were still able to keep those teams under 20 points. So, Lonnie, the defense locked up the Chargers in the second half, not allowing any points, and they were able to commit two turnovers, both being interception. Nick Bolton was also diagnosed with a fractured wrist and will be out for at least 2 months. So, with Charles Omenihu back in the defense, he had a solid game as well. What did you see in his arrival, and how will the Chiefs play with Bolton out for the next couple of months?
Yeah, so I think we'll be fine. Like we just said, we seen Drew have to take over for Nick after the Jaguars game. So, and he played at a very, very high level. with that defense, he fed in seamlessly. I think he will still do perfectly fine moving forward with the defense. I don't think it'll be any hiccup there. I love seeing Charles Omenihu get in there and get some pressure on the quarterback. The first one he was around his ankles. The second one he got him to the ground. So like I love to see that. I think him and Chris Jones are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Being that they have a similar play style inside and outside. They're really really big. I watched the press conference today. Like Chris said, they're all 6'5" and taller on that line. We're going to get a lot of batting balls. It's just some really big beastie guys down there and playing defensive end and coming around that edge and even on the interior. So you're gonna have to really get in there and have some alignment that can bang with those guys and hold up. And because especially with Spags, he likes to run a whole bunch of games and swim guys inside, outside, swing you around. And that's just kind of how he got that sack with Charles Omenihu. Actually, just Chris kind of running the hoop and Justin Herbert stepping up, and then Charles just cleaning it up. So if he can do that, he has a million sacks coming his way. I promise he does. Just because that Chris climbs the pocket and gets guys to do that a million times, and usually he's just not a guy there. He scrambles. So as long if you can clean that up, Charles, you'll feast. So I like what I've seen there, and I do think we'll keep it up for the next couple months. They've been consistent. We can't discount them and say just because they lost Nick Bolton, because they just did it. They just showed us. So they've been consistent until they show us otherwise. We have to give hats off to the defense. That is a top 5 defense, and even if they do show us otherwise, I feel like they've earned the respect to where they'll get it back on track. We can say that about them now at this point because they have been the only consistent thing on this team so far through this year, and we're just now getting a regular game. We feel like from the offense. So yes, they will keep it up for the next couple months.
Man, if we giving mid-season awards, bro, I'm definitely giving Spags the defensive MVP award just for his coaching style, for what he was able to do, his adjustments that he has made. He has made this defense what it is right now. Chris Jones playing lights out, didn't get a sack last game, ruined his streak. However, he was able to get his other guys involved as well too. Like you said, making people step up in the pocket. Charles Omenihu being a dog everywhere, just making his presence known, getting a sack, his first sack, actually coming back from his suspension. Karlaftis actually getting a sack in that game as well too. They were just playing lights out, and they were able to come in and just really disrupt that Chargers offense. They had the first couple good drives, scoring 17 points in the first half. However, that was shut out in the second half. They were able to respond. They were able to get it together, and then they helped out that back end a lot. They were able to force pressure to where Justin Herbert wasn't able to step into his progressions as much, and then they caused a lot of issues for those receivers in the second half as well too. Nick Bolton went out early. That was definitely something that it was sad to see, and we're not going to see him back until December. However, Drew Tranquil, being the beast that he is, stepping in when Bolton was out those first couple 3 games that he missed already. He came in with no hesitation and was able to still do and produce at the level that he was producing before, and he was able to actually come in and make a couple plays on his former Charger teammate. So I know that was satisfying for him. He's actually on the other he's on the other side of it now. He's with the winners now. It feels good for him to actually go back out there and just this time, instead of being on the side that has fell short to the Kansas City Chiefs so much, now I'm on the side of where I'm winning, and I'm able to be a part of a team that's actually going to go deep into the playoffs. And I think he's someone who's going to replace Bolton very replace Bolton, not for the tire, of course. When he come back, he has a spot back, but at the same time, he'll be a great replacement to where they're not going to miss a beat defensively. He's actually better in pass coverage as well too, because he was a former safety before, and he moved into the linebacker position. So having that knowledge of being able to play in the back end and be able to understand coverages as well too, and what the opposing offense is doing, I think he's going to be able to utilize that, and we need that type of control at the middle linebacker position. So I'm happy right there. And of course, the secondary been doing what they're doing. They've been forcing the turnover honestly every game. If it's not an interception, it's a forced fumble by my boy Trent. Lifetime contract. Give it to him. He's here forever.
Secondary has the most turnovers on the team.
Hey, for real.
Yeah, so
not lying.
Respect them. We got to take your hats off to them. They're doing it big out there, so
Mhm.
they doing exactly what we thought they would do.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah,
the biggest thing in that secondary is confidence, and they have it. So
they definitely do. And I mean, while we on the defense as well, we talking about how good everyone's playing. We got a familiar foe that's back, a familiar friend, somebody back in the mix. We got Envy Pennell, Mike Pennell, but Frank Clark went to the Seattle Seahawks. So, what you feel about Mike Pennell coming back, being a part of the defense? He definitely signed to the practice squad already, but eventually we know he'll possibly be moved to the 53-man roster. So, what are your thoughts on that first?
I don't know. It's I'm happy to see Big Mike back on the team. I mean, he was a dog when he was here. He helped us get on that run. For real. He was really a dog.
Yeah,
But it's some dogs in there, dude.
this
There's
is
some
a lot.
dogs in there. Who is Big 94? I'm sorry. Sorry.
Malik Herring.
Malik Herring. Like I don't like you, Mike. We got some dogs now. Okay.
But he is at DN. That's in depth. That's why BJ Thompson hasn't been able to move up yet.
Yeah.
So or be on the active roster.
But I don't see. That's why I said that I don't see Spags putting instead of running all ends. I think he'll bring Herring instead of bringing Mike because he's just like
But Herring he's been on the active roster. You know, you've been sitting down him after every game. Yeah, he hasn't
exactly.
been inactive. He hasn't been a healthy
I thought
active.
he. I
So
didn't.
he's
I
good.
thought he went. I thought he was the inactive for Charles.
So
No, they got rid
no,
of
so
Coburn.
no, yeah, they released Coburn. He went on waivers. Malik Herring, he always been in the depth because you got to think about it. They either could have did BJ Thompson or him, so they had him. So with him coming back, it's fine. Um, but okay, so it looks like Herring was actually inactive for Omenihu, so he did
Yeah.
go inactive. So,
So you get what I'm saying?
but
That's why I just
but
don't see it.
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's good. For I don't know what they doing or trying to simulate, but um, I it's good. I mean, it's cool. It's not Frank Clark, but it'll work.
yeah, because right now, like when you think of defensive tackles, we got Chris Jones, of course, but he's a
Hmm.
hybrid. He goes to DN, and
Hmm.
then we have Nadi as well too.
Hmm.
But we had Matt Dickerson.
Matt
He's that
Dickerson.
other defensive tackle.
Yeah.
So I mean, bring it back, Mike Pennell. Depending on how the practice reps go, maybe you see him and Matt Dickerson alternate. But why not bring in someone who was sitting out in free agency, bring in some more depth because as the later part of the season coming, we better get into that second half. Injuries start to accumulate as well too. So if we having those nagging injuries or something that is something that is 2 week to 3 week injury, maybe you can play through it. But if they don't have to, you can go ahead and bring up a guy like that and have them sit out to where you can make them active for that game. And then once they come back healthy, of course, he can go back onto the practice squad. So I don't think it was something that will hurt the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think it will mess up the rotation at all. But having that experience back into that locker room, having somebody who was a part of that first Super Bowl that can help bring up and bring some motivation to those guys as well. I think I'm fine with that pickup. Now with Frank Clark's situation, I need a cigarette.
But I mean, you want them. You want him, right? We love him. We love Frank, but it's just like I said, I feel like the opportunity that he has in Seattle is kind of similar to the opportunity that he has here. He's just probably
Yeah,
going to get a little bit more playing time in Seattle.
of
It's a
course.
system that he's very familiar with. He goes back to a place where he was drafted, so it makes sense for Frank Clark as well. I mean, it's not what we want, not where we wanted him at, but he gets away from the AFC. He doesn't have to worry about the Chiefs. He gets over to the NFC. And with a team that can actually make a run, he has a decent secondary with some corners that like to tackle. So um, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be good to go.
Yeah.
I think he'll like it. So
Yeah, I'm happy he went back somewhere that he was familiar with. I think when he was over in Denver, I think he just probably saw the culture at that moment, saw how a lot of guys are out of it, probably didn't see that championship attitude. Not saying Seattle has that, but they have a coach who won a Super Bowl in Pete Carroll, who was a phenomenal coach when he was coaching at USC as well too. So you go back to a team that at least has foundation of wanting to have success, and I think he can really help those young guys come up there because with coming back to the Kansas City Chiefs, you're just gonna really make the room crowded. To be honest, you're gonna make it crowded. We want to see what we have from young guys like Felix. We haven't even seen B.J. Thompson already. We have guys like Malik Herring who had to be inactive for Charles Omenihu, who is also a hybrid, just like Chris Jones, where you can play defensive tackle DN. We got versatile individuals other than Derek Nottie, who is playing at a high level, trying to make
Very, very
some
high
type
level.
of money. He's just trying to make $2 million more. That's all.
Like somebody respect their and he gets sacks in like important
Facts.
games. Like
He's really like this is a guy who at first wasn't really all right. He was definitely good in the run game. He was definitely someone you'll see like a big body, short, fat. No, I'm just playing, but chasing down the quarterback. And then next thing you know, this year, it's like his right hand and it just got strong. Once he get that one hand on you, nah, bro, I'm getting this sack total because I need to add that. Beach, that's 250,000 more on that contract that I need to get. So every one of those, he's trying to get up to 2 or 3 million. So Frank, go back to Seattle. I wanted you back here. You know I love you, bro. You always going to be submitted in Chiefs history. Definitely help you. Thank you for the playoff runs. But hey, try to go back home and see if you can get them to a Super Bowl. They traded you away. They brought you back, but this is a 4-3 system for him. Maybe he can do something there. Who knows? But sorry, man. I went viral for no reason, bro. I thought I was gonna bring you home, bro. I was gonna bring you home.
it was a nice
Yeah,
picture.
yeah, it was a nice picture though. It was definitely great. Definitely go down in the Kevin James meme history. All right, all right. So let's go ahead and move on. We got a couple more topics left for y'all before we get out of here. But remember, make sure to follow and subscribe to Red Kingdom Medium on YouTube. Also follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, all that good stuff. And also like, comment, and share on this video. Tap in, man. Like for real, show some love. We have some conversations. We'll interact back. Drop your comments down low. We'll comment back to them. Definitely like talking to y'all, getting y'all involved as well. But Lonnie, time to talk about the round two against the Denver Broncos. The Chiefs will face off against the Denver Broncos after facing them 2 weeks ago. Just 2 weeks ago. We had a game with them, Chargers, and then another game now. So, and we won in a close fashion on Thursday Night Football. Definitely was a quick get up for us, 119-8. But this time we're going to Mile High Stadium in Denver on a Sunday afternoon. We know how it is up there in that condition, in that high altitude. Going to be a lot of face masks on. Definitely going to be catching a lot of breath. So, what are your expectations for this upcoming matchup, and how can we make this a blowout victory this time?
Yeah, so I think this is gonna be that one that separates us right here. I feel like this is that benchmark where we say yes, this is our division, or we say maybe not this year, or not maybe not this year. Just maybe it's gonna take until that second game against the Raiders to make sure that everything is locked up. But I want to say yes. They played us good on Thursday night. We were stalling out. Andy Reid just really trusted in that defense, which related to that close scoring game. But I'm hoping that we don't have to have that same outcome going into this game, and we can lean on our offense heavy, just based off the showing that we've seen against the Chargers. But I'm pretty sure Andy Reid will stick to his guns, and if our offense is not clicking, he's going to lean on that defense, and we'll have to respect it. And I just want to see if we can come out and complete drives. I know Mahomes is watching the film because we've seen it ourselves. You got to finish the drives on these guys, put touchdowns on the board. Don't let them hang around, or they will try and win a game and beat you. The record does not matter with these guys. They just beat the Packers. So they are still trying to win games. So just take care of them. Don't play to the level of your opponent this time.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna make it quick and short. We need to just go out there, ball out. I definitely think we can make this a blowout. I'm not gonna make that in my prediction because I just want it to happen. However, I do think we can go out there and win big. I think regardless of us playing them 2 weeks ago, that they're gonna know us a lot better. I feel like in that game we were stalling a lot and not really playing uh playing to the best of our ability. Really, I think Reed wanted to go out there, keep it kind of basic, dominate in those basics packages, get points off of that, not show too much. But I think he can do the same thing this time. I think with having some key addition backs to help open up this offense, really find the rhythm that we're looking for as well too. I think we can make this a game to where okay, let's go ahead and get done with this early. Probably something similar to the Bears game, where truthfully, we can get our starters out in the second half. That definitely be great. I think with us playing the Miami Dolphins the next game after that, that would definitely help out a lot with preparing for that upcoming matchup. But I really want this. I really want them to go out there and just dominate on all three phases. I want special teams to make a couple big plays, make a couple big stops as well too. Also, the offense, I want them to be able to be dominant. I don't need Patrick Mahomes to have a 400-yard plus game. However, even if he has like 280 to 350 in that range, but offensively we're very dominant, just because the defense is getting stops or making turnovers as well too, to where he doesn't have to drive down the field as much. I'm okay with those quick drives, get points, get out of there, let's do it again. I'm fine with that. So if you're able to still get 4+ touchdowns, uh, on the ground as well too, with Isaiah Pacheco, McKinnon, if they can have a combination of 150, that's a plus. Let's simplify it as much as we can if we can get points on the board. But I think they want to come out and really dominate. I think that's the goal. I think they're not satisfied with what they did a couple weeks ago. I don't think they like that 19-8 victory, especially with the defense playing lights out, not really giving up much to that team as well too. I feel like they want to at least put up 30 plus. I think they're going to come out there and want to do that. But we will see. Defense, we need sacks again. We need some turnovers. Let's just keep our foot on the gas. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it consistent, because this last half of the season is going to be a banger. Because I think after Miami game we got a bye, and then we got
Against the Eagles
Eagles Monday night.
at home,
We need to win this game. We need to win in Germany.
and
I
that will be
want to
the
go. I want to go 9-1
and it'll be the
by the
biggest
time it
game,
is,
and that will be the
or eight
biggest
and
game.
one.
Let me tell you right now, the build up for that Eagles versus Chiefs game will be so big. It'll be crazy because it is going to be a potential Super Bowl rematch, and if the Eagles keep winning, the Chiefs keep winning, we talk
Yeah,
about Super Bowl preview. So
yeah, it might happen.
it'll be a big build up.
It might happen. I
Yeah,
mean, it's not unfamiliar where you saw two teams who played in the regular season face off against each other in the Super Bowl. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chiefs did it in 2021, 2020. Yeah, 2021. So it can happen. It can happen again in this instance. But yeah, because if we win this week, it'll be 7-1. Win next week, will be 8-1. I think we need to go ahead and go 8-1. I want us to be ahead of everyone else. We're the only team with one loss so far, so I think it's a chance for us to really take hold of the conference, as we are already taking hold of the division. So I think that's needed, because we know how Andy Reid is after a bye as well too. And then also Tyreek Hill does have a hip injury that he's dealing with. He may sit out this game to be prepared for the game in Germany. He may still play as well, but we'll see. But I think they're going to come out and want to ball out, play lights out, really try to get out of here early. Definitely, it's a 325 game Central Time, 225 for us over here on the Mountain Time. So that's beautiful. So that's great. So it's definitely going to be fun. But we'll see. We'll see. I can't wait. But what are your predictions for this game?
yeah. So I'm gonna go 24, 24-17. I'll say we win by a touchdown. I don't want to do the Chiefs like that, but it's gonna be no. Let me take it back. I'm sorry, because I always do this in my predictions. Let me go 24-10. So I get it beat.
24-10.
Yep, I still think the defense holds them under 10 points. I mean, holds them under 20 points.
Shall I ruin the tradition?
Uh-huh.
45-10. 45-10. We gonna do it. It's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a long day in Denver, Colorado. Offense is gonna be playing lights out. McCole Hardman gonna come back jet sweep king for a touchdown. Travis Kelce gonna have another light out performance. He's gonna keep it going. Patrick Mahomes is trying to take hold of the MVP race once again. I'm sorry, I did it.
Okay. You definitely did. But I mean, it's hopefully we win.
Man, bro, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta do it. I gotta at least give like twice. Man, we had a
Hype, so.
blowout with the Bears. I gotta do one more, bro. I gotta do it.
but
This is the last one because
it's
this
a
is the
division
last
opponent.
one.
It's a division opponent.
It's a divisional opponent. You're right. I mean, we did kill the Las Vegas Raiders. Like that wasn't nothing. I think honestly, I think the Bears. I mean, excuse me. I think the Broncos is kind of like the Raiders that season that we played them where we dogged them out. We had that big game against them. We had like a close one the first one, but that second one we actually just play lights out and killed them. I think it can be this type of situation. Only reason why I'm gonna say this, y'all, because y'all know me, I really do chill, and I've been chilling on the predictions of going that high. But right now, I think they have this fire sale going on. Sean Payton is definitely trying to break down his team and really, get rid of some guys, get some money back because you know how they're far over the cap. They're like 80 million over. So they're about to try to like get all of this done before the offseason because they want Sean Payton to have something to work with when it comes up to this time. That way he can kind of build a team how he wants. So I think this is our time to take advantage of that to go 7-1, kind of dominate offensively too, and then do what we need to do defensively. That way going into this Dolphins game, we can be prepared for that. Get our starters out of that first half. That's my goal. Get them out in the first half. That way, in the second half, we can have our young guys coming in, probably with the guys that we want to see offensively more, like Justin Ross or Rashid Rice, even though he's getting that connection with Mahomes. Like, get them more reps, get them more acclimated to the route tree that we have for that wide receiver group that we trust, So I want to be able to get to that point of where we can kind of come together, have that solid performance. And, Andy Reid, he's not a guy to go put up 70 plus or do all of that. He'll keep it at 40, go conservative, have the defense do what they need to do anyway, and then run it out from there. So I think that could be that type of situation on Sunday. But I'm not going to be mad if I'm wrong because it is a divisional game. But at the same time, I think it can happen. I think it's possible. And I like where we're going right now as of now. So that's all I have for my prediction right there. Anything you want to say before we get out of here today?
No, just hats off. Like I said, hats off to Miko. Like I just shout outs to Miko, and I feel like the real test is gonna be against the Dolphins. That's it. I just feel like that's gonna be the real test for the secondary for sure.
Yep. We'll see. So that's definitely gonna be fun. We'll see that. We'll definitely talk about that next week before that game. So we're not going to get too much into that, but that's all we have for this episode of Chiefin'. Once again, thank you all for watching, liking, and subscribing to us. Make sure you like, comment, and share this video. And also follow us on all social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Thank you once again for joining us, having fun with us, just really indulging in the content that we're having. And we're definitely going to have more for you as well, too. So once again, we love you all. We want you to have a great night, great morning, great evening, wherever you're listening to. But this is all we have for Chiefin' right here on Red Kingdom Media. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs. Red Kingdom Media.